Have you ever sat in your favorite chair late at night, the TV off, the house so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat, and thought, is this it? Is this what life looks like now? You see the neighbor's driveway full of cars, the laughter spilling out of their kitchen window, and for a moment you feel that familiar sting, like the world is moving forward and you've been left standing still. That feeling has a name. It's not weakness. It's not just getting older, it's loneliness. And believe me, it's heavier than most people think. Medical studies from respected journals like The Lancet and JAMA Internal Medicine tell us that chronic loneliness can raise your risk of heart disease, stroke, dementia, and even early death. In fact, some research compares its effects to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15. It doesn't just make you sad, it physically changes your body and brain. But here's the part too few people hear. Loneliness is not a life sentence. You can live alone and still feel deeply alive. You can be quiet and still feel connected. You can turn that empty silence into something beautiful, a space for peace, clarity, and renewal. Over decades as a family doctor, I've seen hundreds of patients transform that ache of isolation into genuine strength. And today, I want to share 6 proven habits that can help you do the same. These aren't lofty theories or vague motivational quotes. These are simple, human steps that work. So stay with me until number 6. It's the one that changed everything for one of my favorite patients, a man named Frank. All right, let's begin. Redefine solitude as sanctuary. Most people think being alone means something's gone wrong. But solitude, when chosen, is one of life's most powerful medicines. For 40 or 50 years, your life might have been a blur of reacting to children, bosses, deadlines, chores, noise. Your mind was always on duty. Then suddenly retirement comes, or the house empties and the silence feels unnatural. But here's the truth. That quiet isn't punishment. It's recovery time. Your brain has a system called the default mode network, which only activates when you're not busy. It's what helps you reflect, dream, and make sense of your story. When you fill every empty second with background noise, TV, radio, scrolling, you block the very system that helps you heal. So, start small. The next time you reach for the remote, don't. Sit in that silence for 1 minute. Breathe. Let your mind wander. Ask yourself a forgotten question. What would make me happy right now? Maybe it's watering a plant, sketching, listening to music you loved decades ago, or just sitting in the sun. Whatever it is, do it intentionally. Not to fill time, but to honor it. You're not escaping the world. You're reintroducing yourself to it. One quiet moment at a time. Build tiny rituals that give shape to your days. When you stop working or lose the structure of a busy home, the days can start to melt together. Monday feels like Thursday, and before you know it, weeks blur into one long stretch of sameness. That sense of drifting isn't laziness, it's a loss of rhythm. This is where personal rituals become lifelines. A ritual isn't about religion or routine. It's a signal to your brain. I am here, I have purpose, and my day matters. Maybe it's a morning stretch by the window, a cup of tea at precisely 9 a.m., or writing down 3 thoughts before bed. These little anchors release dopamine, your brain's feel-good chemical. They give you microbursts of control, calm, and satisfaction. I had a patient, Joan, who felt completely lost after her husband passed. The house was too quiet, too big. We didn't start with therapy or a new social group. We started with tea. Every morning she brewed a pot, set 2 cups, one for herself and one for his memory, and wrote in a notebook for 10 minutes. 6 months later, she told me, that little ritual gave my days edges again. So what's one ritual you could start tomorrow? Even 5 deep breaths before you get out of bed count. The act isn't what matters, it's the intention. Keep your mind curious, not comfortable. There's a dangerous myth that learning stops after a certain age. I'm too old for new things, people say. But your brain never loses its ability to grow. Scientists call it neuroplasticity, the brain's lifelong ability to rewire and create new connections. Every time you learn something, even something tiny, you strengthen that network. You quite literally grow younger inside. One of my patients, Ravi, 70 years old, decided to learn photography using his phone. He said it made him see light differently. Now he takes portraits of his neighbors and even runs a small Instagram page. He told me, "It's strange, doctor. I used to walk past this same street for years and never noticed how beautiful it was." When you feed your mind, your world expands. You don't need to enroll in college. Watch a free documentary. Download a language app. Read about a country you've never visited. Try an online puzzle. Learn how to video call your grandchildren. Each small skill you learn is like opening a new window. If your life feels dull or blurry, that's not just age. It's your brain asking for new light. Let nature do its quiet healing. There's something ancient about the way the sun warms our skin, or how trees seem to listen without speaking. Nature is medicine we forget to take. Even 5 minutes outdoors can lower blood pressure, ease stress hormones, and lift your mood faster than most pills. Doctors now call it green therapy. I remember a man named Harold, an ex-carpenter, who spent his days inside watching old westerns. He told me, "Doc, my body feels like rusted hinges," so I gave him a simple prescription, 15 minutes outside every day. At first, he sat on his porch with his coffee. Then he started sweeping leaves. A few weeks later, he planted a small rose bush. 1 year later, he called it my garden of second chances. You don't have to climb mountains or buy hiking boots. Just step outside. Listen to the birds. Feel the air. Notice the colors. The world doesn't stop being beautiful when we get older. We just stop looking. So tomorrow, when the sun rises, open your door. Take 5 deep breaths. Let the day touch your face. That's healing. Speak kindly to the person in the mirror. When we spend a lot of time alone, we start talking to ourselves, sometimes out loud, but more often in our heads. And if we're not careful, that voice can become our harshest critic. You're too slow. You don't matter anymore. No one needs you. Would you ever say that to someone you love? Of course not. So why say it to yourself? Your thoughts are not background noise. They're instructions your brain follows. Repeated often enough, they shape your mood, your health, and even your immune system. The opposite of that poison is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what remains. Try this tonight. Before you go to bed, write down one good thing that happened today. It doesn't have to be profound. My coffee was warm. The sky was pink. A stranger smiled at me. That's enough. At first it might feel silly or forced, but over time your brain starts to scan the world for these small joys on its own. And when it does, your heart follows. One of my patients, Helen, started with just this sentence. I woke up today. 6 months later, her notebook was full, and her smile had returned. Kindness begins within. When you become your own friend, loneliness starts to lose its grip. Reconnect with the world through purpose. This is the one that changed everything for Frank, the man I mentioned earlier. When Frank first came to see me, he said, "Doctor, I feel invisible." His wife had passed. His children lived far away, and most days he didn't speak to another human being. So we talked, not about making new friends, but about finding purpose. A few weeks later, he started volunteering 2 mornings a week at the animal shelter. Nothing fancy, just walking the older dogs. They don't judge, he laughed. They're just happy someone showed up. That simple act, showing up, transformed him. He felt useful again. He had a reason to wake up early. He started to recognize faces, wave to neighbors, and eventually he didn't feel invisible anymore. You see, connection doesn't mean crowds. It doesn't mean noise. It means feeling like you belong to something, no matter how small. Whether it's volunteering, joining a community garden, reading to children, mentoring a teen, or even calling someone who's also alone. Each act of service reminds you that you still matter. Because you do. If you've been feeling cut off, ask yourself, where can I give a little piece of myself today? Sometimes giving is the doorway back to living. So there you have it. 6 steps that have helped countless people transform loneliness into strength. Redefine solitude as your sanctuary. Build tiny rituals to anchor your days. Keep learning to keep your mind alive. Let nature heal your body and spirit. 5. Practice gratitude and gentle self-talk. 6. Reconnect through purpose, on your own terms. Loneliness doesn't vanish overnight, but these steps turn it from a heavy weight into a teacher. They help you remember something the world forgets to tell you. Your worth was never about how many people fill your house. It's about the peace you carry inside it. Before we go, I want you to think about one small action you'll take today. Maybe it's writing in that notebook. Maybe it's 5 minutes on the porch. Maybe it's calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. Whatever it is, make it yours. And when you're ready, share it in the comments below. Tell us your promise to yourself. You'll be amazed how your words might light someone else's day. If this message gave you even a small spark of hope, please give this video a like. It helps our little community grow. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you never miss another gentle reminder that you are not alone. Finally, think of one person who might be sitting quietly right now, feeling forgotten. Send this to them. You might just change their day, or even their life. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of your heart, your body, and your beautiful mind. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.